call us to. Thank you. Let's call the meeting to order tonight. Thank you all for being here. We'll go ahead and hope that Lara arrives soon.
I came in person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I checked with her. I
Yeah.
checked with her today. She said she was.
I figured it's kind of silly for me sitting up there.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. Thank you. Chairman's remarks. I believe that there has been no further progress made on the questions that the trustees sent to the Fjord Trail. They did send us a worksheet document laying out the next steps for the actions within the larger project that would have a direct impact on Cold Spring, and the mayor then responded to that document, which she felt was inadequate in many ways. And to my knowledge, they have not come back to respond to her comments. There was also a meeting being arranged to discuss parking and the shuttle bus. And some of us who had served on the parking committee were being invited to attend that meeting. So I agreed to attend, and Evan Hudson agreed and Dan Valentine agreed. But yesterday or the day before, we all got emails saying that there were scheduling difficulties, and so that they were postponing that meeting. So that's just all I can report to you. I don't think we're going to need to modify the agenda tonight, so let's skip that and move right on to approval of the minutes. We're a quorum here. I just want to make sure that everyone sitting at this table attended the 8/11 meeting, the 9/08 meeting, and the 9/22 meeting.
Not the 9/22, I wasn't there.
Okay.
You're not a quorum for there.
Okay, so you attended everything. So we can vote until Lara gets here. We can vote to approve the 8/11 minutes and the 9/08 minutes.
I did not include the 8/11. I know you've had versions of it. It's not in this packet.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
I think everybody already commented on that.
I think so
Yeah.
too, yeah.
Yeah, no, I had no comments on that.
Okay, so if I could have a resolution, please, to approve the minutes of 8/11/22, please.
Someone,
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
I,
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Minutes approved. May I have a resolution, please, to approve the minutes of September 8th, 22. So moved. I have a second, please.
I'll second.
Okay, Matt, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Nay, no. Any abstentions? So both of those minutes are approved, and if Lara shows up tonight, then we can act on the 9/22 minutes as well. Report of the members. Sue, do you have anything to report?
again, on the park, we went to the park today. Around the noontime, totally we saw 5 people, which was good. The park is beautiful. They have removed some bushes that they planted that's dead. Because they just planted some, and then there was big rain or something, it's all flooded. Yeah, and then some just, and then they took some out on the side, but some trees are surviving, which is good. You see some green. And the toilets are finally not locked, so that was good news. I went to check. And at the very end.
Very end, where the turnaround is.
Oh.
Are those toilets were installed and being paid for, I think, or kept up, maybe I'm incorrect about paid for for the Film Society. So,
No, they were there at the very beginning of the park, and then they were all locked.
Yes.
And then we saw somebody went there and didn't open the door, went behind. So it's but today it's unlocked, which is good. And then at the entrance there, there's signs says police temporary order, no parking or whatever, and the string was up. At the
At the
entrance
front
park,
of it?
yes. That's the
Okay.
first time we saw a sign says police order, no parking.
you mean, no traffic.
No, they said no parking, but basically just nobody. Yeah, but right at the.
At Laura's house.
Yeah, with the string there, which is off tight today.
Okay.
Yeah,
And is the driftwood still on the boat ramp?
always, there's, I don't think there is anything you can do unless somebody cleans it.
Okay.
But I think kids play there and a lot of the big pieces were moved to the side.
Uh-huh.
However, the wash up is always there and there's some gravel in addition to other stuff. And it's apparently washed up from the river. I don't know who's gonna.
Well, that's the village's responsibility now, I believe, right? The village has taken over.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what
So,
tomorrow
So
brings.
that's, the kids
Mm.
play around there, which is good. We saw some kids playing last time we were there, and they were moving the wood in this, stand it up, make a teepee type of thing, and they're having a great time, which is really, I think it's the park is for. But today is, we saw 4 people, that's it. And,
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow with the rain and this coming weekend is the last weekend that the Sea Streak is coming as
Okay.
well, so the wear and tear ought to be somewhat
Yes.
reduced.
A lot of like social media noise on like the over visitation.
Over what?
Over visitation. I've never seen so much. It
Mhm.
just kind of seems to be kind of a breaking point.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it got really bad,
Yeah.
so I think
After, yeah,
I'm still pursuing the idea of bringing to the board a tourism sustainability study. Because I don't see how we can move forward without it, so. If we may, return, Laura, we approved in your absence the 8/11 and September 8th minutes.
okay,
Okay, but we'd like to turn to the September 22nd minutes. You were at that meeting, correct?
yeah, I
Okay.
just kind of I just gave it another look, but I didn't see anything when they were sent to us.
Okay,
I wish you would.
and Matt, you were not there.
I was absent, yeah.
Okay, so if you're ready to, Laura, or do you want a few more minutes?
Yeah,
You want a few more minutes?
no, I'm fine, I'm just laughing at, I joined the meeting at approximately 7:05, which is a pattern. Yeah, no, I did look it over. I think it's good.
Okay, then may I have a resolution to approve the 9/22/22 minutes?
So move.
And second, Laura, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions, Matt? Okay. We have no correspondence to deal with tonight. The main order of business is to authorize me to sign the resolution on 40 Main Street that John first provided to us. That includes both the change of site plan as well as the subsequent change of use from the change of site plan involved a change in the ratio of retail to commercial with a slight increase in retail, and the change in use involved a a change on some of the retail space to personal services and the inclusion of 3 chairs for salon purposes. Okay, so John combined those 2 approvals on our part and sent us the draft resolution for the preceding meeting that we had. And, but I do need a vote from everyone that I can go ahead and sign the resolution and then sign the final plan.
My apologies, I got sloppy and the last page is actually on the second page, so the resolution's a little bit out of order. That last page is actually the second page of the resolution.
So,
Yeah,
for the, I missed the 922 and I don't remember what order, were the parking waivers handled in that one?
There
The
was-
increased
no.
retail?
No,
there was no change in the,
But you added 600 square feet of retail.
that was in the 908.
908,
That was in the 908
Previous
meeting.
meeting?
Yeah.
okay.
You recall what we did on the parking, Jeff?
Because you added 600 square feet, obviously the board felt, I mean, unanimously clearly that the office use really was an unintended legislative consequence.
Yeah.
You're gonna try to do waivers for, you know, a street that has 4-hour parking restriction anyway, that needs a full day's work. But if, obviously, if you add 600 square feet of retail, you need 4 waivers. But it doesn't, I think I missed that one. I think that's the one I was sick for.
Yeah, the September 8th one. Or no, sorry.
September 22.
September.
September 8th was the change of the site plan,
Mhm.
which was changing the formula
Right,
of retail and office space.
right. But
And-
Chris, because I don't see any, I was,
There was a discussion of parking.
normally it would be a condition, right? But the only condition here on this one is just the generic escrow and consultants fees, so.
On 08. I can check that with John. Okay.
Yeah, it all becomes a bit kind of sticky with the parking agreement and the.
I know,
Yeah.
and I know, and the parking agreement came up.
Yeah.
And there was no change to the parking agreement.
Well, I know I was here for one of them and he said no change, but then when I kept kind of peeling the onion, he said, well, we'll revisit it at the 1 year,
Later.
at the 1 year review. I
Yeah,
said, and then you'll look for a reduction. He said, probably.
yeah,
Yeah, so obviously the retail should pay up for the, for the parking
All right.
waivers.
Yeah.
To then offset what will likely be, but just to make it, but I mean, if it wasn't done and it's closed, then it's closed, I think. I don't think we can go back.
Okay,
Yeah.
Um,
The 9.8, which was the change of site plan modification, would have been the meeting where that should have been addressed.
that's right. Yeah, at 9/8, I know.
And I don't believe,
There were no more waivers.
I think.
No,
what we-
I asked Karen and she said-
discussed that, but they said they were still gonna pay for it's still gonna
The
be the
parking
office.
agreement.
It's still gonna be the office parking, or they had the agreement with the village. They did not plan to change that. That's.
no, what he said was that he wouldn't look to do it now. He
Right,
would,
right.
since it has an annual review, they would go to the annual review.
Right.
That's right.
And
And we
then
wouldn't be
say-
involved
Yeah.
in that
and then
annual
say,
review.
Reduce the square footage by 600 square. It's interesting, actually, like I said, obviously, I have a lot of issues with the way that agreement was done because it isn't really planning. But the only thing that really triggers a change to your parking requirement, as we all know, because of the tables, is square footage or use.
Mhm.
So it's not just, I have less people parking, that doesn't, whether or not you decide to, I mean, obviously the code, it plans to the maximum, right? Plans to the extreme, and so you just kind of have those numbers, but the parking agreement really kind of ignores all that, but I think that the hearing's closed, it's closed, I think that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then, if I can have a vote, please, to authorize me to sign
So moved.
this resolution. Thank you. May I have a second, please?
Okay, I can second it.
Okay, Sue, thank you.
Mark can second it. Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Passes unanimously. We have no public on the, do we? No, okay. I don't believe there's new business. Under board businesses, board training, this has been sort of a circular process, but we received from Jeff a while ago, about 3 weeks ago or so, a list of state-sponsored seminars that we have the opportunity to take. As you know, we're required to do 4 hours of training a year. And we had intended to have John First's firm provide the training, but somehow the threads got lost. And they are preparing to give us an hour of training after our first meeting in December. I think it's December 8th, maybe. And that hour is going to be spent on seeker. And the sort of basics of the environmental review process. It still leaves us as board members with needing to take the other 3 hours. And so I know that
I signed up.
you signed up, I signed up. Did you sign up?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Yaslin signed
Yeah.
up.
Awesome.
So you have to sign up. And if you write to Karen, or when does Karen come back, Jeff?
I think she's back Tuesday. She's back in the
Okay.
office Tuesday.
Okay, so on Tuesday, Karen can register you,
Okay.
so there's no, so you won't have to worry about the payment.
Okay.
Okay, and that will cover us all for this year.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so that's it for me. Any comments or anyone want to say anything?
I aim to play.
This is the problem with my daughter turning Siri on. I'm here for the comedy.
Introduce you to that.
I don't have Siri. We'll disable her before next meeting.
All right, well, thank you all for coming and for enabling us to transact this business, which is important. It brings us pretty close to
Yeah,
up to speed on the minutes. And you have the October 10th minutes, which we will do at our next meeting. All right, if I could have a resolution to adjourn, please. So moved. A second,
Second.
Clara, thank you. All in favor?
Aye. All right. Thank you all.
Hey, thank you.
Out my crazy phone and.
And you're tardy.